Our interviewee is a friend of mine. We're schoolmates when I was in high school. Her name is Park Jibin. We call her Joy. She is an 18 years old student from Seoul, Korea, currently living here in Cagayan de Oro City with her family, and she's a graduating senior high school student from St. Mary's School. So I'll start with the first question. Hi Joy, what can you share with us about your culture you find interesting?
So the first culture that I want to talk about is Korean's lifestyle. As everyone know, Korea is really known for like anger and fast culture, right? And I think that's interesting because it's actually based on our history, which was full of fights and war and like fight for freedom and fight for democracy, which made us develop to have this fast culture and angry culture. And second thing is our language system called Hangul, because this is the language system that was developed by Sejong the Great. It was a king. And it's interesting because the shape of the letters are actually coming from the shape of your mouth and throat when you're pronouncing it. And lastly, everyone know about it, but I want to talk about kimchi because everyone knows what kimchi is, but no one knows how it was developed, right? It's interesting because people in Korea developed kimchi to survive in winter. They develop fermentation system which they can make kimchi on falls and bury it and eat it on winter. So they will have food to eat during winter where no vegetable grows anymore.
What do people from other countries generally think about when they think of your culture?
The first is kimchi, which is really famous internationally. And I think this became famous because of its unique taste and how healthy the process of making kimchi is. And second one is K-pop, which was internationally known when Psy released Gangnam Style. Like everyone followed its dance and like rhythm. And after that, people started to learn about more South Korean language and they focused on what kind of music that we listen to. And after that, other boy groups and girl groups like EXO, BTS, Twice make a hit on their song. So I think this is a thing that other people from other countries think of when they talk about South Korea. And third one is our beauty standard and cosmetic product. I personally don't like how Korea is like so famous on putting corset on women and how they standardize the beauty on some point, but because of our technology on making better cosmetic product, we are famous of our beauty standard and cosmetic product. And lastly, I think when people really think of South Korea, they really talk about K-dramas they watch. And I think this is because our media, like South Koreans want some dramas that is full of romantic fantasy that other people cannot experience in their real life.
So Joy, I'm wondering, what did you felt when you left home cultured and entered into a completely new culture?
I felt like my world was going to end. Like I was only at grade 3 or grade 4, but I really felt scared, and I had fear on having new culture and going to a new country. So like I still remember that I went to a therapist and talked about how anxious I was of having new home, but soon I realized this is another challenge that I have to take, which will help me in the future. But still, when I rode on the flight, it was really scary because it was my first time going to other country and experiencing new culture.
So, Joy, have you experienced culture shock? In what way?
The first place I went in the Philippines was CR in the airport, and I was really shocked because I saw no cover on CR. Like, this is a thing that I never saw in Korea, and I was really shocked when I saw so many footprints on it. So it was kinda shocking for me. And the second one is electricity line, because unlike in Korea, in the Philippines, especially Mindanao in 7 years ago, had so many tangled electricity line that looked so dangerous. So I was shocked of watching it. But still, I was really surprised when I saw so many friends gathering on the street and played patentero, because it was a kind of culture that Korean students never do, because they are stressing themselves with sitting down on a table and read books or do study. So I really enjoyed playing with my friends, my Filipino friends, every afternoon. Lastly, I was surprised when I saw so many gays and lesbians in Philippines, and I really liked about how Philippines are so open with gender equality and supporting LGBTQ. Because in Korea, where so many conservative people are living in, we can never imagine gay and lesbian people so open about their sexuality. But I really love how Philippines are open about it.
And for the last question, what do you think about the Filipino culture, or how do you perceive the Filipino culture?
First thing, the vibe that I feel from Filipino culture is relaxing. Like, there's no competition at all. I know there are some, but unlike the things that I experienced back in South Korea, it's really relaxing in here. I think this is a good thing because like Filipinos are really enjoying their life and have less stress compared to other countries. But sometimes I'm really concerned because this kind of relaxation and happiness might interrupt Philippines from developing more. And second, I think Filipino culture is a culture with openness. Like, I was really surprised to know how Filipinos' indigenous culture and Spanish culture can merge together to make the new Filipino culture that we are having right now. Because like I saw some words are actually coming from Spain, and some foods like lechon are coming from Spain. But I like how Filipino knows how to adopt other culture and make it into their own.
Thank you very much for participating in this video, Joy. Have a great day.